Out of an original class of 18 ODU students in spring 2011, 5 students came together in summer 2011 to curate a show at the Chrysler Museum
featuring works from the Chrysler's Garbisch collection and ODU's Gordon collection of self-taught art.
The Garbisch collection features 18th and 19th century folk art.
The Gordon collection features contemporary 20th century self-taught art.
The students chose the term self-taught to describe both collections.
This exhibition encompasses a diverse array of self-taught art
and argues for its inclusion into the mainstream. In the most basic term, self-taught art is art done by anyone who lacks the formal academic training, whatever that might be during the time period.
It's a passion that they have that they're going to do no matter what.
I think some people are just born with a natural talent.
Joshua Johnston, who's represented in the Garbisch collection, but not in this show, advertised himself as a self-taught genius.
You kind of lack the formal training. You're not bound by the rules that some people are taught.
The idea behind choosing self-taught is that it indicates the informality of the training that they've had, but it doesn't denote that their art is inferior.
Background to this project extends several years. The Chrysler and Old Dominion University have had a partnership ongoing whereby we would run an introduction to the museum seminar. Dr. Amy Brandt stepped in to direct the students this summer from the museum side, and it was beneficial really to have a curator leading us through this final part of the exhibition as opposed to the educator who had led us through the foundational work.
I especially liked working with ODU and with you guys as students because it facilitated a more innovative atmosphere. We were able to do things that were a little bit more cutting edge, something we may not have attempted, had we not had this opportunity. It's been really exciting to forge forward.
For most of us, it started out as a visual aesthetic. We kind of picked which ones we like to look at.
But what we did find to really enjoy was the connections that all the pieces make with one another.
We had to realize for ourselves that, it was part of the mainstream. So we had to come to that realization before we could pick the pieces to show everyone else.
I had never seen one of the Tempest before, and through all the research that I've done, he's never done another Tempest. So it's nice to see an actual unique piece in existence by the artist here somewhere. No, it's not in the National Gallery, it's not in the Metropolitan Museum of Art, it's in the Chrysler Museum in Norfolk.
Being in this little corner gallery, it really is an intimate spot, but it's also talking to the other galleries around it, and I think that that's very important.
So, we decided what kind of theme we wanted to portray, and we really honed in on identity and discovery and community.
To this spiritual wall with incorporating landscapes from the 18th century artists to our contemporary artists, that they really show and preserve this ideal of their spirituality and the abundance of their world.
I'm excited to have all these 4 artists together because they're really big on identity, whether it's for themselves or for the patron.
It's a wall that's meant to display identity within community, and I think it does that really well. For example, we have the Purvis, who is really well known for painting on stuff that he found within his community. In this example, it's a piece of plywood. And he would often just hang it back up. So I think that really elicits that idea of community just by having that, and then when you surround it with other heads and such, it starts becoming one big experience as opposed to each individual portrait. So you get this community feel.
The Barth children from Worcester, Mass, and Nicholas Mundy, Man with Tribune, I really feel like the two are somewhat, in a sense, like recreated by the Sloan in the middle. While the formal, aspects are similar in all 3, I really feel like the Sloan makes the 2 pop.
We had some pretty knockdown dragouts trying to get some works in, some works out, kick these in.
It's hard enough to be a curator by yourself, let alone 5 people working together.
We went through a lot of different, I guess you could almost say, struggles with where, each painting was going to go.
That was pretty challenging. He was all for the Sloan. She hated the Sloan. I wanted to put 8 sessels in there. It was pretty crazy.
The Sloan, before I even knew who it was, before I even knew the title, it was just the first image that that popped out at me.
We've kind of kicked it out at least 2 or 3 times.
at least.
But we went to visit the Gordons, and Chris kind of pulled a coup on us and showed the pairing to Mrs. Gordon.
Wojtowicz.
And Wojtowicz went with Mrs. Gordon. He was like, yeah, we love it. And Mrs. Gordon was like, yeah, we love it. And Chris was like, I told you so.
I really feel like the most interesting part about actually seeing the works were the application of the paint.
Of the sessile too, and this is the last time I'm gonna harp sessile, I promise. Like, it's just, you can kind of see, it looks like he took a shovel, threw oil paint on there, and just kind of smoothed it out. It's that rough and that thick, so you don't really get that in pictures.
But just being able to be at the Chrysler Museum, it makes things a reality and not seem like, you know, this kind of fairy tale world of working in the museum.
Getting this internship was like a dream come true, and it just validated that this is what I want to do.
You don't really get that hands-on experience until maybe graduate school, or unless you kind of do it on your own. So, I mean, I'm hoping this will kind of, you know, revolutionize, if that's not too grand a word, the way, you know, that they go about it pretty much, because you need that hands-on experience.
And form this little mini think tank that we have going here, batting around ideas and asking some pretty big questions. So that part has been really exciting.
We want our viewers to kind of go through the same process of coming to an understanding of the importance of these works.
I want them to appreciate the magnet.
It's nice to be like, yeah, my name is on that. We did that.
Aside from just the main theme, hopefully visitors can see that self-taught art encompasses such a wide variety of styles, and realize that, you know, there's something for everyone in there to fall in love with.